Tuesday, 5th of March 2024. So, respect can be lost over time. So, this is something I realised a couple of years ago. You know how people talk about an overnight success is 20 years in the making? It takes 20 years to build trust and reputation, and it can take 20 seconds to destroy it all. Well, I kind of realised that the opposite is true as well. Things can be decaying over 20 or so years, any time frame, and then can be regained really fast as well. Or can be regained, recaptured, let's say. And I realised that trust or respect can be lost over time as well. Someone, you do or say silly things or incoherent stuff, and you don't really, you're trustworthy, but there's just something about you where there's just strange behaviour, unusual, or your decisions are not very, they're lackluster, or they're not very smart, not very wise, or it's like, wow, questionable, why would you do that? So trust and respect can be just destroyed over time. Okay, respect can be lost over time. And I noticed that in life, just through someone who I know, just over time, it reached a point where I eclipsed them, and that was the critical point, the critical mass where now peak respect was reached at this point, and ever since then it's slowly gone down and down and down, and it's reached a sense of like tolerance where it's like yeah whatever, just a comfortable tolerance, let's say, towards this something over here. And then I realized that over time, since that event, the respect had gone down and down and down and down and down. So I'm thinking, what else could be slowly diminished and decaying over time as well? Well, trust could, respect could, admiration could. You name it, all kinds of aspects of life that right now I can't enumerate because there's so many. That could be decaying over time. Now, could it be recaptured? And what's that time frame? But yeah, by all means, it's possible. That could take a day, a month, a year. It depends on so many different factors of life. Humans are all over the place. It could take any time. But it was this core principle that respect can be lost over time. When someone does something, or fails to do something even, or not very smart or wise decision, just over time chips away. And then it seems to be that when it reaches this critical point of so low, you don't care about the person. You might not care about them. So then what do? You don't bother as much. You don't listen to them. You don't pay attention to them. You ignore their calls. You don't reply to them. It's not that, it might not necessarily be you don't like them. It's just you don't want to get involved with them anymore. There's no point. They might be a likable person, kind and polite, but the things they say or do, or the suggestions they have, aren't worth it, aren't valuable anymore. Their insights aren't valuable. So why would you listen to that person? You're generally not going to. And then it's interesting observation at that point where you have these people, but you don't bother communicate with them. You don't bother message them or text them or talk to them. And some people would interpret that as oh, you're being ignorant, or you're being narcissistic, or you're just being unkind. But it's simply that you don't care about them. You try to get in touch with this person, but they don't care. They don't care because they have, like human nature, they have other priorities, other more important things happening in their life. We can't bend over backwards for every single person we see. And a simple thought experiment would be, why don't you text or message every single person you have or and saying, how are you doing, can I do anything for you? And some people wouldn't respond, some people would be overjoyed. It depends on how much they know, like, and trust you, the rapport, or how much respect they have for you. Yeah, but also at the same time, interestingly, that experiment, some people would look at that and think it's very strange. I think it's an evolutionary thing where they look at it like, why are you bending over backwards for me, someone you don't know, or someone that doesn't care about you, or vice versa, or even complete strangers. Like, why don't we care for homeless people? Well, we just don't know the person, we don't really care. It's a stranger, no respect for them. Okay. So over time, respect can be lost. And when it reaches that critical mass, indifference sets in. Indifference. Not necessarily that we're a bad person, or they or we are bad people, but just indifference, or maybe even like a sociable tolerance for them. Like okay, yeah, he's just doing his thing. Yeah, whatever. Or just yeah, thumbs up. Yeah, smile and nod, or ignore them, move on in life. So it's interesting little thing to be aware of. Respect can be lost over time. It might take months for the respect to be lost, and it might take years, I'm just thinking out loud, for it to be recaptured. Something like that. Who knows? But respect can be lost over time, just how trust can be lost over time as well. So otherwise, you will see me tomorrow.